Hi, it's Dave Diegelman with Equity Real Estate here for our July 2025 real estate market report for Southern Utah. Let's look at the numbers. You can see right now for the month of June closed out at 446 sold listings, and the month of July last year closed out at 446. So we're almost at, we are at dead even. You can see the major fluctuations that we've had through the year. But if we look at the inventory that's come on, let's take off the sold listings, you can see that it's built way up. We're at an all-time high. It shows 2352 active listings versus at the end of July last year it was 1747. So we have over 30% increase from just the beginning of the year. Now this is going to parallel what pre-pandemic levels were, and in our analysis of the full market report, which the link is below, we discuss this in detail and give several different factors that are going into it and what this might mean for our marketplace. So our sold listings, the median sales price for June of 2025 was 532,000 and some change, and last year it was 439,000 and some change. So again, this isn't covering the like properties at all. However, I did a very interesting blog, and it's in the market report, on houses between $750,000 and $1 million and what's happened over the last 6 months and where the marketplace potentially could be going. Absorption rate in months. So this is how many months worth of inventory we have versus the sales we have right now. Right now we have 5.6 months worth of inventory per the current sales volume. Last year we were at 4.32. So again, a 20+% increase in slowdown in market absorption rate, if you will. Sold to list ratio, this looks like it jumps all over the map, but these numbers are all from 95 and some change to 96 and some change. So right now we are selling at 95.9% of what the list price was. Now, in that market analysis I did a very close analysis of those properties that are selling, what they're selling for, and the ones that didn't sell. And it's really quite interesting that if you don't list within the comps, you're going to have a tough time selling your home. Other factors go into it too, and I left the link so that you could click on and look at all of the pictures so you can see the difference in marketing between the ones that sold and the ones that didn't sell. So, and again, we've got a link for marketing that's in the newsletter that tells our theory and what we use in our marketing. And it's kind of a really fascinating thing, especially right now. You know, it used to be during the pandemic, March of 2021, when everything was just like going like hotcakes. It seemed like you could put a sign in the yard and within 2 hours you'd have offers on the property. Sometimes that was true. We had less than 100 properties of inventory to choose from. So there was multiple offers left and right, and it was a nightmare for buyers. It was good for sellers, but a nightmare for buyers. Right now, we have the total opposite situation where if you're a seller, you've got to be on your game and well priced and well marketed. If you're a buyer, you have lots to choose from right now. However, our prices are not dropping, and we talk about that in more detail in the newsletter. So the price volume that we've had, this is the volume of sales that we've had. The month end of June 2025 was 294 million and some change. And at the end of July last year, it was 270 million and some change. So we actually have closed more inventory than we did last year. And we talk about this because we're going to see this in the numbers below, that a lot of what's making up for this is the luxury market, the market over $1 million. So if we look at this month and the month over month 2025 versus 2024, we're down in almost every category. There's a few that stand out in positive territory. And you're going to see right here, like 200 to 249, we do have some of our single wides that are on lots that are selling in that range. Also 300 to 350 is up. But then the 350 to 400, 400 to 449 down 10%, 13%, and 450 to 499 down 22%, and then it jumps up again in the 500 to 749. So this is our largest category by far. This is where the majority of our homes in our marketplace are selling in, and that was actually up 20% month over month, and year to date it's up 11%. So that's significant. We're going to pay attention to that in our marketing report. And then the 750 to a million actually lost almost 11%, and year to date it's lost about 4%. The million to $2 million mark, we are up 20% in that, and year to date we're down 5.7%. So I talk about that too, and what's kind of going on with the luxury market right now. And then from 2 million and above, we just don't have enough units to really give any conclusion of what's going on there. So active listings, you can see the majority of the active listings fall in line with what we had up there slightly. So active listings, you can see that the biggest number of active listings that we have right now is going to fall in the 500 to 750 range. Second behind that is going to be the 750 to $1 million range. So those are both very competitive, and that's also where the bulk of our sales, or a lot of our sales, have been. But the $1 million to $2 million mark really has made a distinction of the difference of the dollar volume this year over last year, and I kind of explored that more in the market report that I have a link to down below. So in the market report, you're going to see several things that we talk about that go into kind of details. We do talk about the perfect storm happening, and this could be a market shift that happens, and I'm predicting Q1 of next year. But with all the writing on the wall right now, we could be in for another run on our real estate, so to speak. And I also address the question, are houses still selling? And we go into details on that. We go into marketing samples, so you can see a quick video that tells about the strategy that we use for marketing. Newsworthy headlines: Greater St. George Market Watch, 750 to $1 million homes. Again, we go over great detail of what's happened in the last 6 months, and that to me is fascinating. First-time home buyers programs for Southern Utah, what you need to know. So there are grants for first-time home buyers, and excuse me, there's all sorts of different programs. And really what it comes down to, if you qualify for some of these grants and some of these loans, you can actually get into a house for the same amount as you can get into a rental. So I don't go into that in a lot of detail, but from what rental agencies tell me what it takes first month, last month, et cetera, oftentimes we can get someone into a house for the same amount. 4th of July tips for homeowners now that we have space to entertain. So this is really based more on not entertainment, although it is entertainment, but staging a house for summertime. You have to appeal to that buyer that comes here and it's 110 degrees on a hot day and they're going, why do we need to move to Southern Utah again? We've got some pro tips for how to help that along so that it's not a hindrance to you. Major housing market trends in the U.S. and how they're turning around. This is a fascinating article. I did a little blurb on it in kind of where marketplaces are turning around. And we're getting a lot of our clients from those marketplaces that have fallen so far. And we talk about some of the things that make that happen. So click onto the link below. You can check out the details of the market report. And for the rest of the summer, stay cool. God bless you. And if I can help you in any way with real estate, just give me a call, 435-703-4041.